Well, good morning and welcome to the Trade Setup right here on BloombergQuint Live. I'm Neeraj Shah, and it promises to be from a bull's perspective, an extension of the trade that we've seen in the last few days, and I'll tell you why in just moments from now. First, to the big data points across the world, and today, the economic data points take center stage over the coronavirus updates. We've been doing that for the last few days. The last day of the trading week for us, the big data points in the US. For all of those who didn't quite know, the US GDP numbers came out yesterday, and on expected lines was a horrible number. So no surprises there. The fact that the US GDP was going to go down was known to everybody. A couple of other things that have happened aside of the US GDP numbers. Remember, we were also talking the US FOMC meet, and the statement from the governor was going to be critical because everybody knew that the Fed had already fired all the bazookas ahead of the policy meet any which ways. But Jerome Powell's statement saying, and I quote, that the economic activity will likely drop at an unprecedented rate in the second quarter as well, am I adding. It may well be the case that the economy will need more support from all of us if the recovery is to be a robust one. I think in unequivocal ways, the Fed reiterating that it will probably do all that it takes to ensure that the support to the economy is given. And maybe that is something that may differentiate the current market scenario from the previous ones. The additional piece of good news was from the US FDA, the statement saying that FDA has been engaged with sustained and ongoing discussions with Gilead Sciences regarding making remdesivir available to patients as quickly as possible as appropriate. And frankly, viewers, that is the big good news. We do not know the pace at which this will come about. We do not know how effective it will be, but there is hope at the end of it. And Gilead Sciences might well be one of those which might actually be giving us hope. Let's hope from a humanitarian perspective, from a human angle perspective, that Gilead Sciences manages to make a cure, or any other company manages to get about a cure sooner rather than later. But yeah, Gilead scored over the GDP numbers, and the US markets did very well. Asia's picking up from there, extremely strong show. SGX Nifty pointing towards a very robust start in the session today. And mind you, post-market hours for US, Facebook and Microsoft came up with pretty decent numbers, and those stocks are up, and that may well lead Nasdaq higher, and therefore the US markets will well stay reasonably okay during the course of the session that they will have today. So it's all good news from a bull's perspective. So what does the trade setup then therefore tell us? Simple, right? The extended rally, which is above resistance zones now, might have more upsides. Very likely that we'll have more upsides. Now, we'll only start off higher, and therefore you got to question whether the risk reward might be in your favor or no. But suffice to say that we'll have a start in the green. Banking stocks would be the key pivots in trade today to my mind. Yesterday I was talking about how HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank need to perform. HDFC Bank performed, and boy did it perform, but Kotak Bank did not. And if both of them put up their hand again today, then banking stocks are the pivots around which our rallies could be centered around today, because I don't think healthcare or staples would come to the rescue. It has to be banks which would lead the markets higher. I dare say, though, at the broader end of the spectrum, auto ancillaries and NBFCs could well be stocks that you should monitor today. So do watch out for those names. Yesterday was a big day for auto ancillaries. NBFCs, smaller NBFCs have had a good day. There might still be some steam left in all of those. The headline ones like Bajaj Finance, etc., have made a move. What about some of the others? That's the question. And mind you, first positive set of foreign inflows after 11 sessions. They don't mean a trend in any fashion whatsoever, but the negative trend, just for a day, if it will, has been broken. It may well get repeated. I don't know that, but for now, after 10 sessions of negative outflows, negative flows into India, we had a positive number from the FIs in trade yesterday. I think what is also important to monitor or note, keep in mind, is that while we'll have a rally, and this will be the fourth straight day of an uptick, we have a clutch of results that are slated to come out today, which might not all be that great, and therefore you have to bear that in mind. HUL, Reliance Industries, Tech Mahindra, the murmurs on the street, the expectations, all of which are not very good when it comes to these numbers. So we have a good start today. You have to question, after 4 days of an uptick, could we see a bit of a sedateness simply because of the results that are slated to come out later today from our end? So keep that in the back of your mind. HUL will come out during market hours, Reliance and Tech Mahindra post. But the stocks that I would monitor in the session today, and I urge all of you to as well, One, as I said, ICICI, Axis, HDFC Bank. Remember, Axis had a bad day yesterday. ICICI Bank not as strong as some of the others. Could well be a strong trending day for these names. But the only question is that they will start off only higher, and therefore whether a trader or a day trader as well will get a chance to get in remains to be seen. Remember, it's FNO expiry, so you have to be mindful of that. Tata Motors, JLR has restored the 3/4 of its budgeted production in China. This is as per Bloomberg News, and therefore could be interesting as to what this means for Tata Motors in the session today. Cyient, Amansa Holdings has acquired 21.1 lakh shares, which is about 1.92%. Midcap IT is in focus, but mainly Amansa coming in. Akash Prakash's fund, a very smart investor, could well be an interesting one. And the reason I bring up these names, the auto hanks, is because they were so active in trade yesterday. They are out of the short-term ASM framework. That may not mean too much, but keep an eye out for all of these because auto ancillaries are in focus today. GNA Axle, Shanti Gears, Sundaram Fasteners, maybe some technical reactions. Last but not the least, some bad news as well, maybe for these stocks. United Spirits, United Breweries, Redico Khaitan. Rajasthan has hiked taxes on liquor and beer to 45%. Effectively, it's about a 10 to 12% high compared to the previous levels, and therefore there might be a negative reaction because I think the market would now start believing that what Rajasthan has done might be something that other states also may follow suit. So keep that at the back of your mind. Okay, just ending with a couple of updates that came in from the spokesperson of Ministry of Home Affairs, and we have those tweets as well, or the statement as the case may be. One of them states that there's been a comprehensive review meeting, lockdown, etc. But more importantly, the new guidelines to fight COVID-19 will come into effect from 4th May, which shall give considerable relaxations to many districts. And the details regarding this shall be communicated in the days to come. So there could be some relaxations to the economy opening up, restarting India of sorts. So let's wait and watch how that shapes up. The other thing is, and something that we all got to monitor, is that Government of India has issued an order to states and union territories to facilitate interstate movement of stranded people, that is migrant laborers. Well, big gesture, much needed, I think, again, from a humanitarian perspective. So it's a statement that has come in. It's a big task. It's a Herculean task. Hopefully, we, India as a nation, are successful enough to do this. But from a market's perspective, it's all gung-ho on open. Question is, can it last during the close of day today? Let's wait and watch. Thanks so much for watching.
How many places can you be at once? What if we